Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. Flight boss, the Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And I'm going to give you the keys on how to lucid dream. That's right. The keys on how to lucid dream. Because there's a lot of videos out here about a bunch of different individuals who may speak upon lucid dreaming. But when you listen to them, you know, you might hear a bunch of rhetoric. You might hear a bunch of regurgitation and things of that nature. And there's a big problem going on in the world that I see. And here it is right here. Listen, whatever concept, word, idea, whatever you ever heard of in your life is shit that you do every day. But here's the problem. You have a bunch of lost stars, aka mankind, bunch of lost women and men who put meanings and reasonings and put on extra signs, symbols, sigils, and other outlooks and concepts to these actual energies, right? So you end up being the one who follow these concepts, and then you end up not knowing what you actually doing and have somebody else tell you what you're doing. For an example, there's a bunch of dirt put on the name of astral projection. When if you was truly spiritually inclined, you will understand that it's something that you do every day. For an example, this is what astral projection is. Now, astral projection, right, is going into your astral realm. What is your astral realm? Your yin body. So your yin body could be your thought form, your concepts, your ideas, your imaginations, your ability to daydream or dream, and your thoughts, your imaginations, right? Boom. That's motherfucking you going into the astral realm. So then you project the image, aka a vision. So once you project that image in your astral realm, that concept, it become an astral projection. You go in your astral realm, project the vision, that's astral projection. Can't nobody else see it unless you express it. You the only one can see it. You can't take your thoughts and be like, look at this and weigh it and hold it or whatever like that. You see what I'm saying? So you go into your astral form, your astral body, then you project. You project a vision. Now, when you start doing things in that vision, that's astral traveling. So here's the motherfucking problem that I'm trying to express to y'all, right? You will listen to somebody, right, who think they wise, and then they'll be trying to tell you what astral traveling is or what it ain't while astral traveling. You see what I'm saying? So we get lost. So we don't need to be getting lost under man's concepts and words and following lost stars and things of that nature. That's what we need to understand first and foremost. We're doing these things every day. So when you hear a concept like me say lucid dreaming, that might just be a more lost and indoctrinated way of explaining what we're doing every day. So whatever you heard about lucid dreaming, don't get lost into many different men and women concepts and ideas of it. Just try to see the actual behind the scenes energy signature that they all kind of resonating with, regardless of the words and how they saying it. Try to pinpoint the connection between it from a behind the scenes realm, and then you'll actually understand effectively what astral projection is. And as me being spiritual, I can kind of take you to the from the beginning to the finish line right now. This is how you even come to that concept. Right? Now, astral projection, this is what you need to understand. When you go into the yin realm, your yin realm, go inside you, that's your shapeless and formless realm. There is no color, there is no shape, there is no form in there. So when you correlate things into reality that you know exists but have no shape or form or no color to it, you have no choice but to come to the terms and agreements that I'm talking about your feelings, I'm talking about your emotions, I'm talking about your thoughts, your ideas, the shit that's on your mind, your concepts, right? So for the most part, that's when you go into the yin realm. Now that's inside you. Now you're within a body. So you are also experiencing an external realm. So an external realm is the realm that you are experiencing. This is what we would call yang. So yang is the expressive outer external. So this is where you're going to use your paintbrush and take all the color, shape, and form from the yang realm. Because in the yang realm, you see everything outside of you. People, places, and things in a location. Now within you, none of that exists, right? So only thing exists is you. So how you correlate your feelings and emotions. So, right? So as far as when you want to understand astral projection, you're going within, right? But when you go within, it has no color. It has no shape. So you take everything from the experiencing of the yang realm that has a color and shape and form based upon the people, places, and things in the location that you are around. And then you give your feelings and emotions and thought form them same colors, those same shapes and forms, right? So now that's when your yin realm becomes a vision. And when something becomes a vision, it's like a light would have packed in with all that information. And in order for anyone else externally to see it, this is when it comes into communication, body language, expressing yourself, expressing your thoughts and ideas. But when it's just within you, it's just within you. It becomes a vision. And imagination. So that's astral travel, astral projection. Now look, this is another thing that we need to get into when we talk, before we get into understanding lucid dreaming, right? Now, lucid dreaming, this is what you need to understand. This is a lost, when you listening to people, this is a lost and indoctrinated way of them trying to explain what you already do. So when you go to their concepts, you end up utilizing your lucid dreaming for their imagination and their farm, for their seeds to be planted and grow in this realm. So this is another key that you need to understand, because this is what they're trying to get you to confuse. See, scientists understand things, but they're too left brain. So when you're too left brain is tied to the yang realm. So they can be too logical, too practical, you know what I'm saying, too into reality. See, it's frequency, vibration, then energy. Frequency is the awe realm, right? Then vibrating is when a piece from the all become an individual. That's the vibration realm. Then that's the shapeless and formless, where we can create bodies for ourselves, as far as this astral rainbow waters realm, the premortal waters. So we create energy. So energy becomes the yang realm. So you got the frequency, which is our spirit. Then we become an individual spirit, and then we come into that's us coming into our yin, which is the yin realm. That's the vibration. Then the yang realm is the energy realm. You see what I'm saying? So you got frequency, vibration, yin, energy, yang. You see what I'm saying? So the yang is all things that non-physical to become physical, and it can take time and to translate and to take shapes and forms for things in the yin realm, to inhabit those things in the yang realm, to express the yin realm externally and create imaginations and things of that nature. So when you do your research the way scientists explain lucid dreaming, they have y'all lost, because since they lost in the physical, they try to correlate all spiritual things to the physical, even to the point of calling the spirit something physical, and even to the point of saying that there's nothing else but the physical. So here's what's happening. When you look at the research behind lucid dreaming, they have you to believe that it's the ability to be consciously aware within a dream. You see what I'm saying? So for you to be consciously aware, and let me Google that too. Let me make sure I got that right, so I don't just be talking out my ass. You know what I'm saying? But I know it's along them lines. To be consciously aware within a dream. So we need to break this down, because that's a form of lostness. This is based upon language. We know language and words set limits. It's set limits to your spirit. So just by you speaking a language, the words and meanings that you use every day creates limitations and blockages to understanding what the energy is actually doing on a totality scale. So words only bring it down to your realm of reality. So you only understanding a piece of an energy when you use words and things of that nature. So understand that too. All right, lucid dream meaning. All right, it says, lucid dream is an extremely vivid dream. In a lucid dream, you are aware. See, key word, aware, that you are dreaming. You can train yourself to do reality checks. Now, here's the thing, because this makes you get confused. And anytime you even dive deep into that concept, this is why you wake up, get scared, get nervous, or have a very low vibrational dream, to the point you feel like you want to do something, but you can't actually fully necessarily all the way go through with it. We're gonna break all this we're gonna break this down. It's just because of this concept of even using these words and having that concept of how they taught you on your mind before you go to sleep. That can play out into it too. So you plan out somebody else's version of lucid dreaming, and it's not even actually lucid dreaming. So look, check this out. We need to break this down. So it's saying to be aware. Now, to be aware takes your sun sign. So your sun sign is your conscious body. That's your first light body you create to create your other bodies, right? So without that first body, the other bodies wouldn't even be able to work. So that's the first attachment. So when we talk about your conscious body, that's dealing with the sun, your sun. So that's dealing with conscious. That's dealing with yang. That's dealing with external, right? So just for the simple fact that they saying to be consciously aware or to be aware in your dream doesn't make sense, because you can't be conscious in the yin realm. There's a form of consciousness there, but it's more moon-like, and we're going to get into that. It's not sun-like. Sun-like conscious is external. So when you become a sun, because I was a sun before, when you become a sun, this is when you learn how to see in the dark. Now, for the most part, think about when you're dreaming or you're asleep or you close your eyes and have an imagination. You're not utilizing your physical eyes and seeing externally, yet you're creating a vision. You're creating a sound. You're creating a light. You're creating a spectrum. So for the most part, this kind of give you the understanding of what the actual sun is doing. But for the most part, let's not get too far into that. Now, when we talk about when you're dreaming, you're going into your yin form. That's your shapeless and formless body. That's more related to the darkness. That's more related to the feminine. That's more related to the moon. That's more related to that energy. So for the most part, to say to be consciously aware, anytime you try to force yourself to be consciously aware, is like you trying to bring your son into your dream, which that's not going to do nothing but wake you up to look out externally. That's not going to do nothing but create a shape and form that look exactly like a shape and form or a person, place, or thing when you awake. And the moment it gets the same vibrational attachment as far as emotional wise, it would lock up, and that would play as a blockage, or it would play as a form of waking you up back externally and things of that nature. So that's not what we want to do. We don't want to be consciously aware in our dreams, because that you can actually die like that also, for the most part, or put yourself in a motherfucking coma, or put yourself in a deep sleep, because you're confusing the mind, and you're confusing the mind in a capacity that it's not supposed to be in. So I need you, this is why I'm doing this actual video for y'all, so y'all don't actually dive too far deep into what they actually trying to get you to do, because society is trying to create all kind of technologies to put you in a sleep, and you're always asleep, but you're always trying to wake up in your new form. But when you're asleep, you're going into lesser forms. When you wake up, you go into bigger forms. And I'm talking about as far as spiritually. So when you are asleep, society create a bunch of technologies and things of that nature that makes you spiritually sleep. So instead of using your spiritual energy, you use things like gadgets and technology to lack of. This is why we use things like clocks. This is why we can't remember phone numbers no more. We have it saved in our phones. So a lot of the spiritual energy technology is being taken away. So that is being sleep and harbored. So your spirit is going sleep and down, and you're being utilized for other batteries. Your juice as your spirit is being utilized for other people's batteries and things of that nature. So you end up being a walking zombie, and you end up carrying an agenda that you don't even know. Same way, like, look, when you look at Drake blackface, right? Drake might have his reasons of doing that, but he was still carrying an agenda, because the person who created that idea of blackface in general is still their concept. So regardless of what Drake tried to add on to it, he still was carrying an agenda. So he is a form of a loss. That's a form of lostness when people do things like that, when they just can't create their own kind of idea. You see what I'm saying? They play out in the form of lostness, and whatever gain he got, acting role or money he got from it, that was what he gave off. That was what he received. That was the shape and form he received from that lost star who created the blackface shit. He received the benefits and the accolades, and he's Drake now, right? But with the energy that he gave back was pushing out that theology and concept, regardless of what his little mind down here think he was doing it for. So that's what the form of what I'm saying, being lost and being lost in the shit without knowing it. So this is what lucid dreaming is actually doing for people also. So you don't want to actually even get into the concept of lucid dreaming. I'm gonna change your mind on it, so when you actually go into the dream, you actually do it how you always did it before you start to learn about lucid dreaming, and shit started getting hard, and you start waking up in your dream, and then you start wanting to learn more and more about dreams when you would have already naturally knew it before you got into all those lost and indoctrinated ways. So for the most part, like I said, trying to be a consciously aware, that's false. You don't actually need to do that. You need to actually free your load, because here's what's actually going on. You're actually going to be in your mind looking for things that represent the yang realm, right? And the yang realm is things that take time to create shape and form and be stable in your life. So it's all the people, places, and things that you manifest. Now remind you, when you go into the yin realm, that's the moon energy. So the yin in the yin realm, none of that even matters, right? So you might be giving it these color, shapes, and forms, but you need to remain detached from it. Don't attach from it, aka give it the same emotions and feelings that you attach to it when you are awake. And you need to train yourself when you are awake. Start detaching yourself from certain, but we're gonna get into that. But for the most part, when we talk about this actual lucid dreaming in general, we need to break a lot of things down. Now, so we can kind of clear our mind from that. Now, you don't want to be consciously aware. You want to be consciously aware when you are awake. When you dream, you want to make sure you utilizing that body the way it's supposed to be used. And you're not utilizing your sun. You're not putting no external type of light in the yin realm. You're not supposed to, because that's not going to do nothing but wake you up. Because you're going to start seeing too many shapes and forms that remind you of that. So in the case of lucid dreaming, as far as controlling your dreams, you're not even supposed to look at it in that aspect. You're supposed to control your yang realm, not your yin realm. But there's aspects and there's a conscious awareness in that arena. Now, here's what I mean by that. Since you're going within, When we talk about dreaming, you're going within, you have to utilize those bodies. Now, those bodies don't have anything to do with being consciously aware. Those bodies have something to do with your shapeless and formless bodies, which is your feelings, emotions, and things of that nature. So the better you know how to construct your feelings and emotions, the better you're going to know how to control your dreams. And this is where it's not actually lucid dreaming. It's just you being able to control yourself in that world. So you leave mankind words and all that shit. No, it's just you're going to know how to control yourself in that world just as well as you know how to control yourself in this world. Because you don't really know you control yourself even better in that world than this world. It's just you get lost in shit in this world and bring it back to that world, which is your dream world. And then that's when things get foggy. So here's what's actually going on. You need to understand how to use your inner world, right? You need to learn how to create things in the dark. You need to learn how to see in the dark. And I'm about to explain to you how to see in the dark. Controlling your emotions and feelings. And then they even get manifested even externally. Because here's the thing, the better you know how to control your emotions and feelings, the better you're going to know how to conduct your dreams or have dreams that's worth value or be able to see things in it. The more chaotic emotionally you are, the more chaotic your dream's going to be and things of that nature. And the reason why I say it manifests like that physically is because you see that, right? The more people you come across who's emotionally structured, you see these people getting success a lot faster than a person who's emotionally unstable. Because a person who's emotionally unstable, life may be too chaotic for them to stay formulated on one thing long enough to see it all the way through. So you even see that play out in the yang realm. But it's also like that in the yin realm, and the yin realm is actually what's controlling this realm before it takes shape and form. So here's what you need to understand. Learning how to control your emotions and feelings, and you can do a lot of tricks to psych your mind up in the yang realm, so you already subconsciously psyched your brain, so when you go to sleep you are already doing this, you're already in rotation. So that way, that's how you train it. So for the most part, start training yourself now when you are awake, how to detach from certain emotions and feelings that drive you crazy. You know what I'm saying? If something that get on your nerves, start to do things or create tests for yourself or create symbols or write down certain things or affirmations on a wall or something like that will remind you to detach from that certain emotion or feelings or person, place, or thing at the moment. So you don't grab that thing with you and take that with you to sleep. Or when you dream, because these are the things that you're taking with you. And it's not the shapes and forms and the colors, it's the emotions and feelings. But the shapes and forms and the colors may just be the representations. Like I said, when you dream, the people, places, and the things matter none. Just what you actually experience and the feelings and emotions that you are going and like how it feel and what's actually going on, the awareness of it. That's what matters, not the conscious awareness of it. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, the better you know how to construct your emotions and feelings, the better you subconsciously psych your brain to the point that when you start to dream, you automatically do these things. Because see, this is what you need to understand. Also, frequency, unconscious, right? Vibration, subconscious, right? The energy realm, the conscious. So the energy is the yang, the conscious realm. The vibration is the yin, the subconscious realm. So you have to train your subconscious bodies. Not your conscious bodies, your subconscious bodies. The things you already subconsciously do, how you already subconsciously feel. Yeah, you could go out in society every day and construct it, but you still got these feelings. For an example, you might be around a person that make you feel negative towards them all the times, but you align yourself with them because you might work in a same area, or you might go to school and they sit right next to you, or they might be your next door neighbor or something like that. So you might construct the way you feel around them every day, but the way you feel is the way you feel. So that will be the yin realm. The external realm will be the procedures that you do to correlate and construct yourself around it. Like the neighbor might not know you don't like them because you say hi every day and something like that. So because y'all have to live together. So that's yang version of it, energy version of it. But the yin, the subconscious vibration version of it is just the actual feeling that you feel just because they're your neighbor. Whether if you feel good about it or bad about it or however they correlate themselves, the energy behind the scenes. So you need to deal more with those bodies. So if you want to talk about lucid dreaming, let's get that out of that word. Let's get those words out the way. If you want to control your dreams, or if you want to actually be aware in that world just as well as you aware in this world. You see what I'm saying? Now, because it's a lot more time in the energy world than in the conscious world than the subconscious world. So you have to you have to be subconsciously aware, not consciously aware, subconsciously aware. So here's the thing: being subconsciously aware is what I was just talking about, your feelings and emotions and how to construct them and things of that nature. So before you go to sleep, you already subconsciously trained. You're like, all right, I want to feel like this, or I want to feel like that, I want to feel like that. Now, when you actually go into your dream, right, then these shapes and forms going to start to correlate and things of that nature. So now that you have a dream, here's what's happening. You're going to actually start to experience new things within these shapes and forms. And that's how you, and then that's the only way you can control it. But it has to be backed and supported by new experiences. Here's the problem with lucid dreaming, and here's the problem with people wanting to control things, right? And people who are lost in the physical and lost in the yang realm. Their dreams end up being totally about a person, place, or thing, or a location that represent the yang realm, right? So in their dream, right, if externally they're awake and they money hungry, right? In their dream, they manifest the same kind of type of situation when it comes to money. Well, if you spiritually inclined, you will understand that money is just another shape and form that represents the currency energy. Right? So the currency energy could play out through many different shapes and forms, could play out through many different energy levels. Doesn't necessarily mean just money. So if you spiritually inclined, then you would know that you got gifts coming to you that doesn't necessarily mean money. But if you are lost in the physical, a lot of times you might be the type of person who then subconsciously psyched your mind into thinking that certain things could only happen in certain kind of ways because of the examples that have been shown to you in this realm that we in right now. So when you got a gift coming to you, you may not even think it's the gift that's coming to you because you may be blind into thinking that it's supposed to come in another kind of way or in a money kind of way or something like that, to the point that you disregard your gift or your blessing. I don't like to use the word blessing because we won't be less. But for the most part, you end up disregarding your gift that was given to you because you was blind and lost. And then whatever you was lost and blind into thinking that how it was supposed to come, you end up getting that, and that don't even feed your spirit. That ain't, you end up getting it and being like, damn, this ain't even what I thought it was going to be. You see what I'm saying? And then the gift was right in front of you, but you passed it up. So this is what you need to understand: how to separate the two realms. Separate the two realms. So you need to get emotionally constructed with yourself, because here's the thing. Here's another thing what happens, right? When you get into, this is what I was talking about earlier, right? You say you money hungry. So then you create dreams. You're so lost in the physical that your dream play out in no other kind of way but the way it look in the yang realm, right? So here's what happens, right? Soon as you go try to grab the money, right? You wake up. And then you wake up, the money ain't in your hands. And then you just woke up. You like, damn, I was controlling my dream. I was lucid dreaming. No, you wasn't. What happened was you just woke yourself up because you tried to be too consciously aware in your dream. And then if you're a person who are and conscious, that's your sun. That's your sun. Your yang sun, though. So you can be consciously aware of the yang realm. You put too much of that into your yin realm. Right? And all that information that came with that ego light, which is your sun conscious awareness light, is shit that was yang wise. And that's shit that only exists in the yang world. So when you put too much of that in the yin world, right, it plays out as actual light that wake your ass up. So you went in your dream and tried to grab the money, and then you woke up and was like, damn, I always had the money, I couldn't get it. But you don't know that that was this sun just playing in another shape and form in your dream. You took your own sun and brought it in your dream and woke yourself up trying to be too consciously aware. And being too consciously aware is just AKA taking too many shapes and forms, and then you add your emotional connection to them and bring it to your dream with you, to the point that you always got an alarm clock in your dream now. You always got a rising in your dream now. You always got this motherfucking sun coming up in your dream, and then it just wake you up out of your dream to the point that you wake up and see that sun now. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you need to understand. You need to correlate your subconscious body. Your conscious, the sun, the first atom and all that, that's your first conscious body. You need to correlate your you got a bunch of subconscious bodies you don't even know. You see what I'm saying? You got the mind, you got your wisdom, you got these are all body forms. You know what I'm saying? That your soul be going into. You see what I'm saying? To create your external bodies and shit like that. So that's what you need to understand. Everything comes from within first, out. Everything is coming from in and out. You need to understand that. Then you won't be looking at this video like I'm saying anything wrong. So for the most part, I'm giving you the actual understanding of it. So when you're thinking about, when you're going into your dream, that's how you actually, fuck lucid dreaming, but that's how you control your dream. The better you know how to conduct your emotions and feelings. So when you go into your dream, right, you end up being subconsciously aware. So your subconscious is how you train yourself. You already know how you feel no matter how somebody else try to make you feel. You already know what you want to be on no matter what else everybody else try to make you be on. You already know yourself no matter what else somebody try to tell you about yourself. So when you train your mind like that gang-wise, you end up doing that in your dream. So when you're dreaming and start to do things in your dream, like go through and one dream be this way, then you walk through a wall and switch to another dream in a scenario, right? You have that same mentality. I'm gonna do what I want to do, no matter what. It's like it's the same. So in the dream, it play out in that way. So you subconsciously be in control. See, if you a gullible person, yang wise, you definitely ain't gonna be a person who control your dreams, because you can't even control. You got somebody controlling you when you woke. So in your dream, you always having reckless and careless dreams and shit like that. You would never experience controlling your dreams if you're a gullible person, and because you already subconsciously gullible. So in your dream, things gonna be out of your hands in the subconscious realm. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, you just need to try to correlate yourself and know yourself. And once you start to know yourself, you start to understand how to conduct your emotions and feelings. So then when you go into your dreams, you know how to subconsciously you subconsciously aware. Now that's just get subconsciously aware. Now I'm gonna show you how to actually do things, how to actually travel, because how to actually utilize your subconscious body. Now we got some external yang words for what I'm about to explain, but it's not those things. Remember, everything in the yang realm is just illusions. They're just like something. They're mimicking something, but they're not actually it. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I mean by this. Now I'm about to show you how to travel in the yin realm. Now in the yin realm, right? Now for an example, here be a word for it. Say if you want to move to the right in the yin realm. And I mean like if you walking, flying, if you flying and shit, this is why a lot of y'all be flying, but y'all know how to control yourself, so y'all about to fall to the ground and shit like that. I'm finna explain it to y'all, right? So say you want to move to the right, like how you move in the right in the yang realm, like you see how I look to the right or move to the right. Say you want to do that in a dream. You have to feel righteous. See what I'm saying? That would be the external word for it, righteous. But you would have to feel it. So you start to understand and correlate, how does it feel to be righteous? When you do the right thing about something. Or when you feel like you're doing something right for you, or something that's rightfully so, or something that you think to be right. Right? Once you train your subconscious mind for that, in the yin realm, you'll always go right. And in that realm, it'll sometimes look like this realm, to the point it actually you move right. Right? Say you want to move left, right? Then you have to add the emotions and feelings of doing things that's left field. Now the word in the yang realm for it, I say left field. Radical. You see what I'm saying? So think about all the concepts and the energy signatures that's in packed with left field. You know what I'm saying? That's going the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? Going your own way. Having the feelings and emotions of being unique and original. Having the feelings and emotions of being opposing. You know what I'm saying? Having the feelings and emotions of, you know what I'm saying, having discernment of yourself and things of that nature. Or going your own route and things of that nature. So you would, in your dream, you would move left when you add those emotions and feelings. See, this is once you get trained though. Once you start to get trained. You know what I'm saying? Once you start to stop trying to be consciously aware, aka lucid dream, and start to subconsciously be aware, aka really control your dreams, not by some other bodies try to have you as a robot. Now, for the most part, if you want to move left, you have to have the feelings and emotions, that everything that comes with the external example of you seeing a person doing something that's left field, right? Now, say if you're flying or you're walking or you're moving and you want to move down, then you have to add the feelings and emotions and the energy signatures that come with all things that go down. You might write down on the feeling. You might feel depressed, write down deep, or you may feel deep. It doesn't always just deal with depressed. You may be a person who subconsciously train your mind to always feel deeply about things, or you be depressed, or a person that go into depth, or had the feelings and emotions of a sense of density, a sense of dominion, or a sense of and then that'll make you go down. So this and you will actually move down. So just think about all the dreams that you be having. Think about the dreams that you about to have sex, but you can't actually do it, right? You probably don't be adding the feelings and emotion in your dream of dominion or being down or depressed or anything, so you don't move down. So your feelings and emotions be elsewhere to the point that in your dream you end up experiencing, damn, why I can't get on the bed? Why I can't go down? Why I can't go in the room? Or why, you see what I'm saying? It end up playing like that. But it's because of this. You probably consciously aware, not subconsciously aware, and then you're not trained how I'm trying to explain it right now. You see what I'm saying? So you never actually even go down in your dream or even look down. You see what I'm saying? Or things of that nature. This is why it's hard for you. This is why a lot of times you have those weird dreams where you don't look down at your sex organs or anything of that nature, and then it's like once in a blue moon you look down at your sex organ and wake up and write that down. I guarantee you, when you wake up, you was carrying a dominion emotion of feeling, or a feeling, or a pleasurable emotion of feeling. Like all lower animal natures is things that can make you move down in your dream. You just got to add those emotions and feelings to it. So say like a pleasurable emotion of feeling, or like just a valuable or compromising, any one of those will make you move down actually in the dream. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the subconscious direction. It ain't the conscious direction where you look down and move down. It's the subconscious direction when you feel down. You see what I'm saying? So you got to utilize that. So when you in your dream flying or walking around, you move down. You can't move. This is why when you in your dream, this is why a lot of times you think you know where you're going, but you really don't be in control. You can be in control. It's just the same way how it is in the yang realm. See what I'm saying? You might think you work at your job, but you don't know why you work. You don't know what the job represents. It's the same type of scenario. You see what I'm saying? So you're just walking blindly, walking along of faith, walking blindly, not knowing what you're actually doing. Now, say you want to move up in your dream, right? You have to add all the feelings and emotions that come with the energy signature of being up. So just think about, in the yang realm, you look up, but in the yin realm, that's adding things like optimism. You know what I'm saying? Feeling happy. You know what I'm saying? Feeling upbeat. You know what I'm saying? Having energy. Having a feeling and emotion of excitement and things of that nature. When you add that, you will move up. And think about it. A lot of times, this is how you actually learn how to fly. When you go to sleep with a bunch of excitement on your feelings and emotions, a bunch of those up energies in your feelings and emotions before you go to sleep, like a bunch of optimism, can't wait till tomorrow, or I'm about to get this big prize. Like there's a lot of things in society and in yang realm that can help entice those feelings and emotions before you go to sleep. But I'm trying to teach you how to do this yourself. Right? When you go to sleep with a bunch of those attachment energies to the word up, as far as like optimism, excitement, and things of that nature, when you go to sleep, it'll play out as you subconsciously doing the behind the scenes energy of the word up. So in your dream, you will fly. You see what I'm saying? You will motherfucking fly. So, things in society that you subconsciously may train your brain. Say you about to get a raise, or say you about to get a promotion, or say you about to do. So those things will help you. If you are a lost person, those will be the things that it would take to help you and spark those emotions and feelings when you go to sleep. But you could just do this yourself. You see what I'm saying? So when you go to sleep, boom, you subconsciously psych yourself on the up energy. So the up energy, so everything in your dream would be like that. Say you wanted to move forward, right? You got to add all the energy signature to forward. You ever had one of those dreams where you getting chased and you try to run and you want to specifically go where you want to go, but there's always something blocking you, because you don't got no forward, you don't got no aggression, maybe subconsciously, and you don't subconsciously train yourself externally in the yang realm. So when you go to sleep, you carry a sense of lost direction. You don't have a sense of direction. So wherever you move, it's a blockage there or something preventing you, because you're not moving where your spirit's supposed to move at, where it can move freely. You see what I'm saying? So that's those type of dreams tell you that you're not moving where your spirit's supposed to move freely, and everywhere you're directing yourself in places your spirit ain't trying to go. So in your dream, it'll play out as you getting chased, but you getting caught, or you can't move, or you going slow and shit like that because you're vibrating real slow and shit like that. So for the most part, say you want to move forward in your dreams, you got to add all the energy signature it takes to moving forward. So what does that mean? That means, like, what's the energies that come with moving forward? Feelings like you accomplished something, feeling like you gonna get over something, feeling like I'm gonna get through with it no matter what happens. All those feelings and emotions and stuff is attached to the yang version of the word forward. So you will subconsciously move forward within your dreams. So in your dreams, everything that you want to do, you actually move forward through it. It don't feel like it's sluggish. It don't feel like you're moving slow to it. Actually, you get to do it. You see what I'm saying? You just gotta add that to it. Say you want to move back in your dream. Say you want to move back. You know what I'm saying? So you could dodge bullets or move like the Matrix, or say you had like you got this dream and then you switch somewhere else and then you got this sense of wanting to go back to that location, but you can't because you might be in a car now that keep going this way, or the dream taking you to another dream to the point that you just fully dive into that one, and then you kind of slightly wake up in a little bit and like, man, I want to go back to that one dream a little bit. See, this is how to do that. This is how you move back. Now, how to move back, you have to feel, you got to add the energy signature that's attached to back. And you know that energies that come with that is like energies like resentment, leaving something behind, forgetting something. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Add those energy signatures in it, and then in a dream you will actually be able to move back, or you'll actually be. So once you start to train yourself with the directional pad I just explained to you, once you start to train yourself in your dream, it'll start being like just like here. You'll be like, what the fuck? Like it'll be just like here, to the point that you have two lives, and sometimes you can't wait to go back to that one. Sometimes you can't wait to go back to this one. It's like you'll be able to choose, and you'll be able to know which one you're doing and which one how it's to doing. And you'll be able to understand the more energy vibration and the traveling you do in the yin realm, slowly but surely, that start manifesting and start taking place in the yang realm. You know what I'm saying? You will start to see it before your eyes. You'll be like, God damn, this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? But that's the keys on lucid dream. And one of the keys is stop using no motherfucking words, lucid dreaming, and stop listening to these fucking scientists, their descriptions of it. No, we just gonna control our body in our yin world. You know what I'm saying? That's all we doing. Same way we control our body in our yang worlds, our many layers of bodies in our yang world, we control our body in our yin world. You see what I'm saying? And so all that being lost in the physical and trying to call it lucid dreaming and bring a bunch of the physical into your yin world, that's a form of lostness. And you ain't gonna do nothing but wake up. I'm telling you. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air. Ee-hee.